All right, well, it's Saturday, August 15th there, and I wanted to get this fight out real quick. Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire, against Rafael Concepcion, El Torito. I think that's what it is. The reason why I don't get a lot of these fights, or why I don't put the fights out, is if I think it's going to be a really bad mismatch for a fight, or something like that, or I'm just not really big into it. And Concepcion, he weighed in at 119 and a half at the weigh-in, so this will not be for a title. Donaire said, I'll fight him anyway. Uh, so they penalize him 20%, so Donaire gets half of that, so he's going to get about $6,500, for the fight, which is not bad, for saying I'll fight this guy who's coming in at 19 and a half, 119 and a half. Now, I don't know if that's trouble with his training. Ooh, sorry about that. Or what's going on, lack of motivation, or maybe he realizes with and this is Concepcion, maybe he realizes at 13-3 already in his early career that, maybe, just maybe, the writing might be on the walls. But I'll go through both fighters, and then I'll give my prediction at the end. Obviously, Rafael Concepcion, 13-3-1, 8 knockouts. He's at about a 47% knockout ratio, which is not good. I mean, you got to be over 50 to be good, and he's under that, and he's almost entering powder puff status as far as punches and stuff like that. Like I said, he weighed in at 119 and a half, so I have a lot of concerns about his conditioning and stuff like that coming into this fight. He was fighting at 127. Then his next fight, or his last fight, he was actually at 120. So he's kind of big right now. His best fighter that he fought was Arce, Jorge Arce, who absolutely mopped the floor with him. I beat him from pillar to post, and they stopped that fight. His corner, and they were like, "Yeah, there's no sense in you taking any more of a beating." So, they stopped that in like the 9th round, but he took a beating for a long time. He's a fighter though, and he wants to get into a war whenever he's fighting anybody, which is a good thing, but not great. He doesn't do well with speed opponents at all. If you saw that with Arce, he had a lot of trouble with that. He wants to hold a lot, takes a lot of unnecessary punishment because his defense isn't that good. And if you're throwing your punches looping wide, whenever you're throwing the punches, it leaves you open for a lot of shots. And he's definitely going to take a lot against a guy called the Filipino Flash. He can take a beating, though. He can take a lot of punches, a lot of shots. He carries his hands way too low, though. If you, when you watch him fight, there's not a lot of stuff out there on him. He does work the body, but like I said, he's an okay fighter, and I'll give him that much. Okay, on to Nonito Donaire, who's 21-1. He's got 14 knockouts, 63% knockout ratio, which is good. It's almost really good for guys fighting in the lighter weights. He is fast. His 6 of his last 7 fights have been by knockout, so you have that going for him. So he's looking very. He steamrolled over. I wouldn't say steamrolled, but he knocked out Vic Darchinyan, who we know beat Arce, who mopped the floor with Concepcion. He's really fast. He's got good power for a flyweight. He's coming into his own, but he's fighting a bigger fighter, weight-wise. He throws great combos. Occasionally, he holds his hands too low, too, though. He is susceptible to that. But he's a good counterpuncher. And with Concepcion throwing wide, I think this poses a big problem for Concepcion. And you know he's bad. You know he's bad. I mean, look at Donaire's wife, Rachel Marshall. I mean, he's got to be tough because she's a beast, man. So he uses good movement. He uses angles. He switches up. He can switch up to southpaw. His body work's okay, but not great. And there's a possible rematch with Methylene. He looked to be pushing that fight as it was going on, but it was stopped in the sixth due to a cut, methylene. Zai. I really don't know if that's how his last name's pronounced, but if your name starts with an M and the very next letter is a T, I'm going to have problems with that. But I didn't like the way he was looking in that fight. But in this one, I think he's going to spark him out. I think he's going to stop the bigger guy. I think it'll go late, though, because this guy can take a beating. I mean, it could go to a unanimous decision. That'd be very easy. But I think Donaire, with his recent string of knockouts and everything like that, even though they were at a much lighter weight at 112, stepping up, I think at the 115 level, well, he'll be fighting a guy that's going to be like 130 going into the ring. But I think he handles his business, and he wins that fight by knockout, and I will say the 10th round. Okay? Well, there you go. This is Bigragu. I'm out.